morning. We are here with Patty, our certified nurse midwife here at Bloomin Babies Birth Center, and Cindy, our IBCLC lactation consultant, and she's also an RN. And we're going to talk about our mother's milk dispensary. And so first we're going to show you what it looks like. If you come in and get some mother's milk, this is what it will look like.
4 ounces.
Go ahead, Cindy.
It's 4 ounces of donor milk.
And where does it come from?
It comes from the Denver Milk Bank. So it has all been tested, and we know it's totally safe to use. So that's kind of a nice part of being part of the milk bank supply chain.
And who can get milk?
Any mom who is struggling with breastfeeding, it's available. And the benefits to having the breast milk is that it really helps continue breastfeeding. Because oftentimes it's just early on when a mom needs just a little extra support and a little more confidence that her baby's getting what they need, and then switches totally to mom's breast milk. So it's usually a one-time offer of the breast milk, and then mom's milk is in and things are ramping up. And so it's not an ongoing event.
Great. So we're going to let Cindy put the milk back because it needs to stay refrigerated. And we're going to talk with Patty about some of the reasons why you might need mother's milk and some of the things you might heard that you would need to maybe look at other options.
So as Cindy said, once in a while early on, moms feel like, oh, the baby's not getting anything, I need to offer it formula. And it really is better if instead of offering formula, we offer breast milk, because then the baby isn't exposed to formula, first off, and it's just kind of like a bridge over to the point where mom's milk then comes in, and she knows it and she feels it and she gains her confidence and knows that she doesn't need to give it. Other reasons are sometimes new moms sometimes have to have some kind of surgery, gallbladder or something may pop up, and baby is still nursing. And even though most of the time, the medications that they're given, it could be okay for her to breastfeed, a lot of times they are told to pump and dump, in which case then she doesn't have milk to feed her baby at home. And so then she could come in and get a couple of bottles and again, bridge herself back to where she can breastfeed and baby can get her own milk. What else?
Well, we're often using it just as a supplement rather than the formula because of certain things like that. But the formula changes the gut flora, and molecules in the formula are bigger, so harder for baby to digest. Then we're interrupting feeding cues and different things, whereas if we have breast milk, then baby stays on track, his baby's gut's working, pooping, peeing, growing, all those things while we're achieving whatever mom may need.
And is it true that sometimes someone could hear that maybe their baby hasn't gained enough weight or they've lost some weight, and so then they may be recommended to use formula, and this is a different option for them?
It is a different option, and oftentimes what we'll do is use this as an in-between while we're building milk supply. As a lactation consultant, I come alongside the moms and we build milk supply. We talk about different ways to do that. But this is a great in-between, and for baby to start growing and getting stronger and maybe more assertive at breast, the baby will start taking out more. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
So just to make sure I'm on the same page, this could be like when they're first, like they just had baby, and this would maybe help them when they're first learning how to breastfeed?
Yes, and as mom's milk's coming in, sometimes there's a time when the milk doesn't come in as quickly as the baby's ready for it, but that doesn't happen often. And so the one thing we don't want moms to worry about is, their bodies. We want to trust their bodies to produce what they need for their baby. But Bloomin' Babies comes alongside then, and we offer the support to get to that next phase for those challenges that do come up.
Great. And then why, Patty, did the Bloomin' Babies Birth Center decide to have a mother's milk dispensary
'Cause they're awesome.
available to the public?
Well, so we have had moms come back to us and say that they took the baby to the pediatrician. The pediatrician said the baby hasn't gained enough weight. I need to give him formula. And like Cindy said, it's really not good for the baby's gut to go from breast milk to formula and then back to breast milk. And so we wanted to help support those people in the community, and we want to make sure that people understand this is not just for Bloomin' Babies people. This is for the community. This is not just for people who come here and have their babies. It is something that I am very passionate about supporting moms in the community, and even though it's not really to any huge benefit to Bloomin' Babies, I want this to be available to moms in the whole community as they need it. And that's why I went ahead, and once I found out how simple it was for me to do this, that's why we did it.
So then if I wanted to get some of this mother's milk, how do I do that? If I'm a mom and I have a baby, what do I need to do in order to get the milk?
Well, the first thing is you have to show that you definitely have a breastfed baby. And then we also would at least encourage that if they're having problems to seek out a lactation consultant like Cindy. And I want to make this clear too. Cindy works with us, but she's not our lactation consultant. She's not an employee of our business. So she is also available to the community. People don't have to have birthed here to use her services. So if there's someone out there who's struggling and they've maybe tried other lactation consultants, or all their friends have given them all the tips that they can think of, and they still need help, they can call and we can get them hooked up with Cindy. And Cindy is able, if it's a client of ours, which our girls know, it is covered by insurance. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a positive. Otherwise, it's on a self-pay, mm-hmm. and
I can give them a bill that then they can send into their insurance companies and get reimbursed. Lactation support is covered by most insurances to get the baby off to a great start. And so oftentimes it takes just a little bit of positioning help. Breastfeeding shouldn't hurt. Babies should grow. There's challenges around that, and oftentimes it's just a 45-minute quick visit. I do home visits. I can go to their homes and help them in their own environment, because we all have different challenges. Here we have a really nice comfy chair. I have a stool. We have boppies. All these things that I can make it work here or help support here, but it doesn't translate well once they're home. So if they're coming in and getting donor milk, I would really love to work with them and meet them where their challenges are.
What's one common challenge you hear from moms about breastfeeding?
That it's uncomfortable. And the baby oftentimes just needs a little help going in deeper, taking a deeper latch. And moms are so wonderful. They think, well, that baby's on there, they're nursing, I'm not going to take them off just because it hurts me. And it shouldn't hurt, because it's a time for her to enjoy her baby.
And then what's a really quick or simple tip that you give moms when they're first learning how to breastfeed?
Bring that baby in tight and close for a deep latch. Don't be afraid you're going to break your baby. And oftentimes moms want to put their hand on the back of the baby's head to get them to latch. Well, the baby's reflexes are telling the baby to pull back, which shortens the latch. So just moving their hand down on their shoulders, the baby's shoulders, to give that baby a chance to come in with the full latch.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
Did you have some other statistics that you wanted to share about mother's milk?
There's guidelines as far as how long it can be out, those kind of things. Certainly if they're WIC clients, they get the support in the community as well. But breast milk is very hardy. It doesn't spoil if it's out the way formula would. And so it has all the antibodies to keep it preserved. And so it's not nearly as delicate as what we are afraid, that it needs to stay out. So those are things.
So then if somebody was going around town, would they need to just come to the birth center, pick up the milk, and then go home and not do other errands if they're coming from outside of Grand Junction?
Would be a really good idea.
Okay. So if they were coming from outside of Grand Junction and didn't live close, and they were from Montrose or from Glenwood Springs or Craig or Utah, then they could bring a cooler and have some ice and still take it home, and it would be fine.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We have people who travel, and it's a good thing to know that you can travel with breast milk. A lot of times moms are maybe not comfortable breastfeeding on a plane, and so TSA knows that they have to allow moms with babies and in a little cooler of breast milk to go through unquestioned. And so, keeping us just a little, like a lunch bag that's insulated is good for traveling. Or, as you said, if someone was coming from Telluride or something, and they still have a couple hour drive to get home, just keeping a cooler with a little icy in it will do just fine, and it won't damage the milk at all.
Great, and we got a really great question from Stormy. She asked, how does someone donate to help other mamas?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Stormy. So we are not a bank. That is St. Mary's role here in the community. So if you have the desire and you have lots of milk, which is a wonderful thing, you can contact St. Mary's. We have the contact information, so you could also contact us. But contact St. Mary's, and there's some paperwork because you have to answer health questions and stuff like that. But then you drop it off at St. Mary's, and they are the ones who transport it back to Denver to the milk bank, and that's where it's tested and processed and then sent out to the different communities. So that's a wonderful question. We really appreciate it because, our milk is here for the general public, but St. Mary's uses quite a bit of milk in their NICU for babies that are sick, and they have found that NICU babies do better if they receive breast milk versus formula. They have some gut issues as premature babies, and they found that instead of giving formula and giving donor breast milk, that those babies are doing much, much better. And so you're really helping the community. You're helping little ones that are tiny and just really need every little bit of help that they can get. So that'd be wonderful.
Yes, we encourage moms to research that because it is such a gift and something that moms can provide for other moms.
Have you had anybody come in and get any mother's milk yet?
One, yeah.
And was that a big relief for her?
Oh, I believe so. We had some challenges. She kind of had a delayed lactogenesis, and her milk hadn't quite started in yet. Hungry, not content baby, and frustrated parents. And so we were able to do the bridge. They're off and running on their own now, and it's doing great.
That's great. And do you want to talk a little bit about this room? Because this is the Bloomin' Babies Birth Center room where you do your lactation consultants, right?
Yes, I love this setup because we can work on the chair latch. I have a great latch that I love to show my moms. It's a laid back breastfeeding position. That's my big seller. Usually when I do show that in the homes, moms say, "This is wonderful, let yourself out," because they're able to relax and take a nap. But we just think about comfort and positioning to get them off to a great start. So many times it's just a positioning challenge.
Is it relaxation as well? Something
Absolutely. Again, just being able to lean back in the chair, bring the baby to you, making sure mom's not leaning in over the baby, because that just changes the latch. So anytime mom's feeling stressed in her shoulders or back while breastfeeding, there's a positioning issue that can be fixed.
Great. Anything else you guys want to share today about lactation or about the Mother's Milk Dispensary?
No,
I think we did pretty good, and just, if you have any questions, or if your doctor is one of them that says, I think you need to put this baby on formula, mention the fact that we now have donor milk available in the community.
And there is a charge for the milk.
There is a charge, yes, definitely. It's $20 for the 4-ounce bottle, which isn't outrageous if you've ever priced formula. Formula is pretty darn expensive too.
And it's a bridge, and so it's not something that
you're not going to be buying oodles of breast milk. It's usually just something to get mom over the hump and get her breasts performing the way it really needs to be doing, and getting baby to gain weight.
How long would one of those 4-ounce bottles last, approximately?
It depends on the age of the baby and how much milk mom is able to get herself. Oftentimes we'll encourage a mom to have a pump and take her milk out and add it to whatever we need for the age of the baby. So it's really hard to speculate. But the one bottle we did donate, we're able to provide to a family, it probably lasted her first 48 hours. And so then her milk is in and she's able to nurse.
Okay, so the milk can come in quite quickly.
Oh, yes. Milk comes in within the first 72 hours anyway, usually. And the colostrum is really all a baby needs. But sometimes there's just something special going on. There's an exception to about every rule. And so that's where this comes in. It's a nice way to bridge that.
Great. So then if you wanted to get some mother's milk, you can call the birth center. You can stop by, and you can also call Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
Patty, why don't you give us the birth center's number, and then we'll get Patty's number so people can reach out.
Okay, our birth center number is 970-549-1711, and Cindy's number is
303-913-1715. They can reach me directly, and if weeks down the road they think, oh yeah, there's that lady that's a lactation consultant that can get me through Bloomin' Babies.
Great. Thank you so much, Cindy and Patty, for being here today, and stop by and check out the Mother's Milk Bank.